where the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekere-Ekun, is set to swear in 57 new senior advocates of Nigeria on September 29th at the Supreme Court in Abuja. The ceremony will coincide with the opening of the 2025-2026 legal year. As part of tradition, the CJN will deliver a State of the Judiciary address reviewing the court's performance over the past year. The Attorney General of the Federation, the President of the Nigerian Bar Association, and other key figures in the legal sector are expected to attend the event. Proceedings are scheduled to begin at exactly 10 a.m. at the Supreme Court complex. Now, for more on this, we are now joined by a legal practitioner, Tohwo Oseruvwoja. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, and good evening.
Thank you. Now, very quickly, sir, with 57 new SANs being sworn in this year, do you think the criteria or, of course, for evaluation remain stagnant enough to preserve the title's integrity?
As a matter of fact, if we are to allow, let's just say, what other nations use in ranking their most preferred senior lawyers in the country, we would have produced more than that 57 we have currently. A good example, if you look at here, England here, where we have the King's Bench, which is equivalent to a senior advocate of Nigeria, you discover that our legal system or our lawyers in Nigeria, they work so hard, particularly those who are not preferred, based on the screening and the criteria put together and based on societal opinion towards their character and their distinction in the legal practice, in the law practice. I believe we would have had more than the numbers they are currently conferring the rank of a senior advocate to. And I will tell you, as a matter of fact, that from the inception of that prestigious rank up to now, we don't have up to 1,000 senior advocates, living senior advocates. And you should also look at the population of Nigeria. You also look at the numbers of lawyers we have in Nigeria in giving that criteria. So the criteria is still okay. And I think with time, I think they also need to still relax some condition based on the situation we have in Nigeria, in the legal system.
Right, that's very, very interesting insight. Now, how can the newly appointed SANs contribute to addressing issues like delayed justice, court congestion, and of course, access to legal representation within Nigeria?
The issue is that sometimes I think the lawyers are the endangered species and the judiciary, but we should also look at the society in the wider perspective towards the issues we have in the delayed justice. I'll give you a good example. If you look at, let me look at the criminal procedure in Nigeria as a whole. You look at it because if you count the numbers of pending cases in Nigeria, you discover that the criminal cases are more compared to the civil cases. They will look at the civil cases. You know, in Nigeria, I've been privileged to participate in the justice system in Nigeria, and I've also been privileged to be an observant on the process here in England or in England, or should I say in the UK. You discover that most times the gateway to the justice system is the problem. You see, the law enforcement agency, they charge people to court even before they investigate. It is in the course of the investigation, it is in the course of the trial that you see either the police, the EFCC, the ICPC, the NDLEA, or whatever those institutions that have that power to prosecute will start investigating the issue, making the court congested, making the court list bulky and all those stuff. Then you also look at the abuse of the process. And in this area, I also fault the lawyers because in every abuse of court process, there's also a conspirator from the member of the bar. Another example, you see lawyers rushing to court to institute action that precedent has already set out. President has already set out and already stated this is how the situation is and this is the position of the law. Though we are aware that there is no same case, but they are similar facts. So lawyers are bound to advise their clients in line with the facts and details presented. And I think a good one was what happened in Bayelsa, the judgment of the governorship election after being decided by the Supreme Court. You saw senior advocates of Nigeria approaching the court again to redetermine the position of the law. Imo State was one of those issues. And in other developed jurisprudence, in all other developed country, those lawyers are at the verge, or they may likely lose their rank or their license. But so for the newly to be confirmed senior advocate of Nigeria is for them to hold on to that level of dignity, that level of integrity and excellence they've already been adjusted to. And I'll make you know that, for the public to know that for them to have been selected, the public have consented, because there are process for making them, for them getting to this point for the conferment.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Oseruvwoja. I'll let you go on those remarks. Very great insight. Thank you so much.